We're well over halfway through the championship for 2015, and round 7 brings us to the Hampshire circuit of Thruxton. It's a 2.35 mile former airfield. It's recognised as the fastest track on the calendar, always very tough on passengers, and we have 3 races on this weekend's programme. So there's a real opportunity here for those teams behind to play catch up and those teams in the front to extend their lead. The championship is being headed at the moment by the AOS Be-Wiser pair of Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood. Their lead is 57.5 points ahead of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, who actually start this weekend on pole position. Let's have a look at the table. There's that gap. You can see Stevens and Charwood out in front, Peach there in second place. Lovelock, regrettably, unable to start. More about that later. Kershaw then can really do himself a power of good ahead of Holland on local ground. And Tony Brown has Lee Kane in because Sam Christie still not fully mended. Bygrave and Sharp, they're quick, but you wouldn't believe they're 18th, would you? Huge crowd here at Thruxton. The viewing, the natural viewing, offers a tremendous picture of the start-finish straight. Just look at the people all along that bank. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson. There's Kershaw and Rob Wilson. Our television partner for this round, Brittany Ferries, Sidecar racing, very popular in France, of course. Gary Horsepole 32 with Jimmy Connell. And there, Ian Guy and young Danny Evanson. Guy, the veteran, having a cracking season in 2015, but from pole position it's Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson on the right of your screen. Watch for the Assured Office Solutions Be-Wiser Kawasaki on the left, but it's Peach going straight across the nose. Holland got a cracker as well. In third place, Kershaw, the Scottish pair, going very well indeed, but Peach is away with it. We've seen him do these starts so often, but he's got to sustain it here. It's only 8 laps, I say, only 8 laps. 8 laps around Thruxton is going to be really, really tough on passengers. You just watch. Into the complex they go. A relatively small grid. We've only got 16 starters here, but the action's going to be at the front, so there's a good chance for everybody further down the order to pick up points. The L&W Contractors Kawasaki then of Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson making a break for it. Kawasaki in the top 4. 74, Ben Bygrave and Carl Morgan standing in for the injured Justin Sharp in 5th place and going strongly, so they're the leading Suzuki. Stevens then already on the back of Andy Peach. Down goes Charlie Richardson. This is about 150 miles an hour up towards the chicane. They've got to go down the gears to second through here. Andy Peach holding it tight. There's no way through for the Be-Wiser Kawasaki at this point, but Assured Office Solutions team right there tailing the race leader. Ben Holland, Lee Watson then had a bit of a mechanical problem in qualifying, but they seem to have got that sorted. Local ground for them too, so the Portsmouth pair in second, and similarly for Portsmouth, Ben Holland, Lee Watson always go well here at Thruxton. Some of the crews were here last week with Bemsey, just getting some track time, and Holland was one of those crews. Andy Peach then with Charlie Richardson out round the back. Very, very fast round here. It's so hard on the drivers because it's essentially one great big right-hander once they get out the back. Now look at Steve Kershaw, Rob Wilson on the express tyres of Lockerbie. Kawasaki on the back then of the Finning Cat Kawasaki. This is the race at the front between these two. Stevens this time having a look up the back as they come down into Church. Coming out of here then driving hard. 4th, 5th, top gear, and he's ahead. Made that move stick on the inside. Up Woodham Hill they go. Is there an opportunity here for Andy Peach to fight back? He's on the inside, having a look. Oh, there's not quite enough room. There's contact. Rubbed against the rear tyre of Ricky Stevens. Andy Peach, having run strongly at the front, is now having to settle for second. Charlie's leathers billowing in the wind here. Round they go then. Allard into the left-hander. Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave, the 3 Bens, retiring already. Talking of Ben Holland, Lee Watson, out of it. Bygrave going behind Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas. There's Ian Guy and Danny Evanson. Gary Bryan and Jamie Wynn having a strong ride on the number 44 Santander Salt Kawasaki. Gary Bryan, this is his first season in F1 on the long bikes. Good rides in the Isle of Man TT, both races this year for Gary Bryan. An accomplished F2 exponent. Now he's finding his way around this F1 bike. And Jamie Wynn throwing himself from one side to the other, getting as much drive as possible. Since teaming up with Steve Thomas, Rupert Archer is a rejuvenated rider, I can tell you. He too is running strongly. The number 70 Hannafin bike. Look at Bygrave. Bygrave and Carl Morgan, there's your race leader. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood on the AOS B-Wiser Kawasaki, and Rupert Archer and Gary Bryan locked in a terrific battle here. Quick shot there of Martin Kirk, I noticed. Are they coming up? Surely not to that Martin Kirk. Look, we've got a four-way scrap here, but Rupert Archer's got the better of Gary Bryan. Is he going to make it stick coming to the chicane? Archer then and Steve Thomas doing a great job since teaming up together, this pair. Archer away, Gary Bryan, Jamie Wynn, then Bygrave, Carl Morgan, then Ian Guy and Dan Evanson. L&W Contractors bike, Ian Guy, also sporting a sticker from our TV sponsor. I've said so many times that number 74 Ben Bygrave promises so much, but ultimately delivers little, not because of his riding ability. More often than not, it's a mechanical issue that hampers his progress, but they're going very well at the moment. Certainly one of the quicker riders out there, Ben Bygrave, just needs to get a bit of luck. All the luck he's had so far this season has been of the bad kind. This seems to suit Gary Bryan's riding style, not unlike some of the roads he's used to out the back as well. And I can see Ian Drown coming into shot as well with Jed Pillmore Brady. The Devonian, this is his local circuit, if you can call it a local circuit. Thruxton is still probably 150 miles from his hometown. Gary Bryan from up north, and Ben Bygrave from East Anglia. So the riders come from far and wide. The furthest travel award every week going pretty much to Steve Kershaw and Rob Wilson, coming down from the borders, and they're running very strongly at the moment. Race leaders then, lapping Rod Robinson and Helen Dealey on the distinctive outfit. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go then of 3 races here. This is the first. Up Woodham Hill they go towards the chicane, and the checkered flag not too far away now for Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood, making their winning streak seemingly endless. Over the line they go, collecting the victory here in race 1. 1 down, 2 to go for Stevens and Charwood, AOS B-Wiser Kawasaki. Second place, Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, the bridesmaid again. One day he'll put the dress on. Race winners then. What a show they've done for B-Wiser this season. Now, their compatriots on the superbikes not running nearly as strongly as the 3-wheelers. There it is then, 8.1 seconds the gap. Andy Peach, Kershaw, strong podium for the Scots, good for them. Gary Horsepole, Jimmy Connell, 4th, terrific, and what a ride for Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas ahead of Bryan, Wynn and Bygrave. Martin Kirk, Robinson and Cable collects a final point. I'm with Stuart Wakely, who's actually the team owner for the Assured Office Solutions team. Win number 6, a new lap record. It just gets better and better, Stuart.
Can't call it, Barry. Unbelievable. These pair are just going to go from strength to strength. It's just, can't believe it. Absolutely over the moon for them both.
When you decided to get involved in the scale that you have this year, did you have any idea what you were going to kickstart?
No. Testing at the beginning of the year, people said to me he's going to go and win the championship, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, let's just walk before we can run sort of thing. But as soon as he went to the first meeting, he was on it, and it was always talking of the championship. And now, yeah, it's ours to lose, but there's a long way to go still, and we're not counting our chickens just yet.
Well done. And here at Thruxton, 1 race down, 2 to go.
Yeah, now that's what we want. We want the other 2 wins.
As they celebrated, let me tell you about race 2. It was fairly uneventful, apart from Gary Bryan, who shed his passenger, Jamie Wynn, unceremoniously dumping Wynn on the tarmac, uncharacteristically too as well. But Stevens and Charlwood went on to clinch a second victory here, leaving it all to do in race 3, but they were delighted. Another 25 points and a great ride again from Kershaw and Wilson, getting them back on the podium. Peach was again runner-up. You can see it was much closer for that second place. Ben Holland finished this time. Tony Brown and Lee Kane a great 5th. Horsepole Connell strong again, as indeed was Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas. And you see these guys at the back, they're picking up points, and the weekend goes on. Brilliant action on what is the fastest circuit in the country here, and we do it all again tomorrow because there is a 3rd sidecar race coming up after the break. Thruxton in midsummer is absolutely wonderful, and we're on the line for race 3 of the Hyundai Heavy Industries British F1 Sidecar Championship in association with the Molson Group, and the sun is shining here. The question is, the guy you've just been looking at, Ricky Stevens, Ryan Charlwood, can they make it 3? They've already had 2 wins here. Andy Peach, who will be coming up to join very shortly, making his way through the middle. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson are absolutely desperate to make amends for their double second places, but Andy Peach has got a hand problem. He's struggling to hang on. These guys have no such problems. Steve Kershaw and Rob Wilson doing an absolutely brilliant job. Double podium. They would love to go 1 step better on the podium, maybe even 2 steps, who knows. But what a season they're having. Solid points they've scored this weekend. Waiting for Ben Holland and Lee Watson on the Finning Cat Kawasaki, the yellow and black bike, as yet to make an appearance. But when they do, they'll be lining up just here. Look a bit further down the grid, swing round and look at Rupert Archer and Steve Thomas, number 70. 2 brilliant rides, lining up alongside Gary Horsepole and Jimmy Connell, and what a weekend they have had. The championship coming out of this round will have a very different look, I can tell you. Well, Ben Holland and Lee Watson have made it to the grid. They had an oiling problem. Roger Lovelock on pit wall. Let me tell you, Roger Lovelock came here morning of race day, had chest pains, was taken by the medical people to hospital, and he spent the entire day yesterday having tests. Good to see Roger back at the circuit. Obviously can't ride. He's got to sit this one out, but hey-ho, he's very philosophical, and he's happy to have no problems. Away we go then. We've got a super race on here then. 8 laps and a terrific start by Tony Brown and Lee Kane ahead of Ben Holland, Lee Watson, who's having a look up the inside now of Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood. But again, Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson get the drop. Let me tell you about this hand problem that Peach has got. A trapped nerve in his shoulder means that his hand loses strength about halfway through the race. He simply can't twist the throttle or hang on, and it does hamper him. Bygrave then. There's Bygrave 74, there's Peach. There's the Assured Office Solutions, B-Wiser pair, and Holland and Watson. Through goes Bygrave and Carl Morgan on Gary Horsepole and Jimmy Connell, number 32, whose season just gets better and better and better now that Connell has recovered from his shoulder injury sustained early in the season. In fact, Donington Park doesn't get much earlier than that. Holland and Watson then, Finning Cat. Assured Office Solutions, B-Wiser Kawasaki, there we have it. Ricky Stevens, Ryan Charlwood. We're giving you a whole new perspective with the onboard shots. In this race, you can really live the action. Tony Brown, Paymundo.com, with Lee Kane, the young Manxman, standing in for Sam Christie, who is still recovering from those injuries he sustained. Hopefully he'll be back before the end of the season. And also, Tony Brown tells me that there'll be a renaming of the team before the end of the season. I'm not going to blow the gaff on that one, but more about that as we get deeper into the year. well over the halfway stage. Oh, look at Charlie Richardson throwing himself across, almost parted company with Andy Peach. Ben Holland, Lee Watson then, no such troubles for them. Great action from Ryan Charlwood. This pair, not the biggest guys, they're in the low fives, I would say, 5'4", 5'6", but Ryan Charlwood does a great job of using his weight and his size, spreading himself across the outfit. The passenger's role is just so technical. You have to have been on it to appreciate what is happening here. Look at Charlie Richardson, the hand goes across the back, but there's a big gap up the inside, and Stevens needs no second bidding. Through he goes into the lead again. Status quo then for Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood as they assume control on lap 2. Tony Brown, 4th place. And he's fighting hard, but these three breaking away now. We've got a 9-wheeler easing away from the rest of the field, but Holland and Watson, the Finning cat, Kawasaki now closing on the back of Andy Peach. Is Andy Peach experiencing a recurrence of that hand problem? It looks like it. He's not making it easy for Ben Holland to go past, but go past he does. Holland then, neck and neck, but he's got his nose in front. Peach in 3rd, Holland up to 2nd. So Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson on the L&W Contractors Kawasaki relegated to 3rd after having led yet again. They certainly have the speed, they just need to sustain it. But if he's carrying an injury, you can fully understand it. Oh, in the pit, Gary Brown and Jamie Minna. Look, that's Ian Guy's outfit just behind. So Ian Guy and Danny Evanson out. Could be that we've got passenger fatigue here on lap 4. It is notoriously tough on passengers here. It is so fast, so bumpy. Carl Morgan, we're looking at Carl Morgan in the Blue Machinery number 74 outfit, being passed by Gary Horspoll and Jimmy Connell. There's Kershaw and Wilson then running strongly again with Horspoll. He's got the better of Ben Bygrave. There's Ben Bygrave, number 74. Then it's Ian Drown and Jed Pillmore-Brady. Another young man who's really stepped up to the plate in terms of his passengering ability on the Mick Robson Racing Kawasaki of Ian Drown. Horspoll, 3rd season on the F1, and he has really clicked with Jimmy Connell. Bygrave then and Carl Morgan again. These two not familiar with each other, but doing a good job here. Oh no, a retirement for Holland and Lee Watson again. Their mechanical woes persist. Onto the grass they go, out of the action. Peach then has now got Tony Brown, Paymundo.com and Lee Kane breathing down his neck. Kershaw and Wilson on the back of Tony Brown. Much better ride for the Kentishman Brown this time. He's such a fast rider, the former BEMC champion. Look how he threw it round there. Lee Kane just doing enough, staying neutral. It's impossible to passenger that chicane. And when I say passenger it, you cannot get where you should be all of the time because it's so quick. The best thing you can do is compromise on the left-hander, stay in the middle, and stay right when you come out. That's all you can do. And that results in the sidecar wheel flicking up. Kershaw Wilson, just watch Lee Kane, the man in black leathers from the Isle of Man, looking over his shoulder to see how close the Flying Scots are, and they are very close. The number 29 Express Tyres Blink Body Quarry sponsored Kawasaki. Impossible to think that 2 seasons ago the number 29 rider was in hospital having open heart surgery. My golly, it did him the power of good, didn't it? Brown then 57. Kershaw hunting him down. Peach and Richardson still clinging on and doing a great job on the penultimate lap here. Rob Wilson was one of those passengers in a previous life here at Thruxton, was spat out on the start-finish straight. He's obviously worked on his fitness, and what a great job he's doing. Not the smallest of guys either, so he moves around the outfit very, very well for a big man. Using his weight across the back. It's quick there, I can tell you, on the last lap then. 2.35 miles of the Thruxton circuit to go for these boys. And Kershaw looking up the inside of Tony Brown, almost coming together. Oh, fantastic onboard shots there. That shows you how close it is. And this is on the last lap. It looks like the first lap, the way they're going at it. Kershaw's not going to give up. He wants it. He really, really wants this. Is he going to be able to find a way past Tony Brown? Tony Brown now having to ride defensively, so that's impeding his progress on Andy Peach. Because he knows, he would have heard it, he would have felt it. The little nudge that Steve Kershaw gave him on the last lap here. And now Tony Brown getting away, the gap is widening. At the front though, almost unnoticed and imperious in control. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood, Assured Office Solutions, Be Wise and Kawasaki make it a hat-trick here at Thruxton. It does not get any better than that. They broke the lap record twice. Peach and Richardson have really slipped back in the clutches. It's going to be a drag race to the line to see who gets second. Peach gets it from Tony Brown on the podium with Kershaw right there. It was so nearly 3 in a row for them as well. Look at that. 10 minutes of racing, frantic stuff, 8 laps. Brilliant. Stevens and Charlwood and Kevin Cable there with Guy Pawsey in the chair. Again, scoring points here, but lapped on the slowdown lap. Race winners are there. Lee Watson applauding from the sidelines, but they retired. Confirmation of the podium. Brown, Peach and Stevens on the top step. Kershaw, Horseful again, another terrific ride. Good to see Ben Bygrave and Carl Morgan in the points ahead of Drown. Archer going well, Brian Gray and young Ben Ramsey as well. Martin Kirk, Ben Hughes steady, Rod Robinson picking up points, and you saw Kevin Cable there too.
No, absolutely amazing, well happy with that. So yeah, whole team, great effort, good day for all the sponsors, really happy. Couldn't be a better day for us. I think Ryan would agree.
No, very much damage limitation. I've trapped a nerve in my back and I can't feel my right hand, which is quite crucial really. So to finish second, we're happy.
Starting from the back yesterday put us in good stead for the race today. Getting up to 5th from the back, we knew we had to pull our fingers out today and just go for it. New set of tyres and just hope for the best, and it sort of worked out.
There are 3 rounds remaining. It's a significant lead, but we do have double points at the finale at Brands Hatch, so still all to play for. Not a done deal by any means. Holland still in 4th despite 2 retirements today. Lovelock, he'll be back at the next round. I look forward to that because Roger Lovelock, good value. Bygrave and Carl Morgan moving up the table. Solid rides today, and of course Birchall and Reeves not even in the running in our championship anymore. Three races here at Thruxton shows us who's in control. The AOSB Wiser team totally dominant, a new lap record, 3 victories. It does not get much better than that, but there's still a lot to play for in this championship. Double points when we go to Brands, but the next round is over the water in Holland. It's at Assen. Please watch it. Thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.